You're watching Up to Speed on Cardinal Television at St. John Fisher College.
Hello and welcome to Up to Speed, a show that brings you up to speed on some of the big stories within the sports world this week. I'm your host, James DC, and let's get right into the show. The number one overall pick in this year's draft for the Los Angeles Rams finally got his chance to shine this week as he made his first ever start. Quarterback Jared Goff and the Rams went up against a Miami Dolphins team that has finally started clicking. Goff finished the game with a 66% passer rating, 135 yards, but with no turnovers. The Rams did end up losing 14-10, but many say Goff played okay for his rookie debut. Former Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis took a shot at his old team's quarterback this week. Lewis states, "Gifted? Absolutely. Passionate about what he do? I've never seen that. Flacco has always been one to stay calm on the sidelines and never really make any crazy gestures. If he throws an interception or gets sacked, he just shrugs it off." Flacco is a former Super Bowl MVP with loads of talent. Many can argue he hasn't had the best team around him as of late. Ray Lewis may have pushed it a little as teammates were seen shouting in an interview with Flacco, stating, "We got your back." Ray Lewis has ended up apologizing to Flacco, but what was the point of even bringing it up in the first place? As the season has concluded, the MLB superlatives have been handed out. National League's MVP was Cubs third baseman Chris Bryant after leading his team to the World Series and ultimately playing a huge role in the season. American League's MVP was Angels outfielder Mike Trout, one of the best to play the game in a decent amount of time. The Cy Young winners are where it gets interesting. For the National League Cy Young winner, it was Washington's Max Scherzer. American Cy Young winner was Rick Porcello, who was outvoted in the first place ballot by Justin Verlander, but ended up winning because of more second place votes. Crazy, right? Head over to Kate Upton's Twitter and see how she reacts to her man losing that battle. That's interesting. If you recall last week, the U.S. men's national soccer team went up against Mexico in a World Cup qualifying match. They ended up losing that, unfortunately. This week, they went up against Costa Rica in hopes of bouncing back. That obviously didn't happen. The U.S. lost 4-0, and coach Jurgen Klinsmann has been relieved of all duties with the team. Klinsmann, who was brought on in 2011, was hoped to be the coach to bring the U.S. men's soccer team to a respectable level within the world. Obviously, that is not the case as he's not on the team anymore. Bruce Arena is set to take over the reins in the next match coming up. Pelicans point guard Drew Holiday made his season debut after missing the beginning of the season with several family matters that he had to attend to. In his debut, he dropped 21 points alongside Anthony Davis's 38. They ended up beating the Portland Trail Blazers 113-101. Hopefully, with Holiday back, Davis can get some help in bringing this Pelicans franchise on the winning side of things. Finally, the San Antonio Spurs have announced that they will be retiring the number 21 jersey worn by future Hall of Famer Tim Duncan on December 18th. Duncan, who recently retired this past year, was a dominant force in the paint for the Spurs. Duncan played 19 seasons, tallying up 5 NBA titles, 2 MVP awards, and 15 All-Star appearances. You could say his chance at reaching the Hall of Fame is pretty set, and there's no question about it. A great career for Tim Duncan, and what a great honor to have his jersey number retired in the rafters. Even after UFC 205, Conor McGregor is still making headline news. After winning his championship against Eddie Alvarez, he's looking for a new opponent, Floyd Money Mayweather. Mayweather has declined fighting McGregor, and he doesn't take that too kindly. McGregor states he wants it under boxing rules. He wants a boxing match, and he doesn't want to fight. Honestly, this would be an interesting fight to see. But really, in retrospect, boxing and the UFC are two totally different things. Yes, boxing takes a huge role in mixed martial arts, but there's other parts to it, and McGregor is much more skilled in those other parts. Now, it would not be fair to Mayweather, but hey, Mayweather is known as the best fighter in the world, so you never know what could actually happen. NASCAR season has come to a conclusion at Homestead Speedway in Miami this past week. 4 drivers, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, and Kyle Busch, went at it to see who could top the standings. Jimmy Johnson was able to pull away after starting at the back of the pack and was able to capture his 7th Sprint Cup championship. He is now tied for winning the most championships with drivers Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. Now that is some pretty good company to be a part with. This has been Up to Speed. Make sure to tune in next week for our season finale as the semester comes to a close. If you are traveling this week, be safe and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm your host, James DC. Catch you next time.